Hey guys, are you afraid to share the gospel? What's holding you back, really? Is it fear of rejection? Is it not knowing what to say? Not knowing who to talk to? You know what? You're not alone. There are so many people that do feel that way. Even those that are extremely well versed, it just sometimes it feels like it's out of our comfort zone, you know. And Romans chapter 1 verse 16 says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes." And when we think of the disciples of Jesus, for example, they didn't always share the gospel and they get met with, positive outcomes. I mean, oftentimes many were saved, right? But they also often encountered challenges and opposition. Like right now, it's raining on me. Think about Paul, for example. He shared the gospel even when he was in prison. And what looked like chains ultimately became his pulpit. Think of everything that he got done there. His obedience led him to prison. And yet in prison, he was preaching to the Gentiles. He was preaching to the Romans. He was accomplishing God's will in such a powerful way. And think about it. He's in prison. Now he's basically distraction free, right? And he wrote the majority of the New Testament, right? How fantastic. So here's a reflection question. Ask yourself, what's really holding me back? Is it the fear of people or their opinions? Is it feeling unprepared? Something to remember is that God doesn't only call the qualified. He absolutely calls the qualified, but he also calls the unqualified, and then he equips them, right? It's all about your willingness to be obedient to what God is calling you to. In Matthew 10:20, it says, "For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father who speaks in you." And that means that you're never alone when you share the gospel, right? Something to remember is that if God has sent you, he will equip you, absolutely. And if you're truly listening to our Father, you'll also know who to reach out to and when to reach out to them. So if you're feeling ill-equipped, just stay in the Word, stay in prayer, and the Holy Spirit will direct you. You know, guys, just something I want to encourage you. It's time to step out of our comfort zones and share the gift of salvation with those that God calls us to, and not let fear silence you. The gospel is the power of God for salvation, and so let's share it boldly, all of us, and trust Him with the results. God bless you guys. Until next time, go spread the gospel.